Good evening. This is a self-informative speech for my speech class. I'm just going to basically talk about me and something that is in my world. So I haven't always liked children, and I remember being a teen, annoyed at the 8-year-old that lived in my house, would always constantly bug me to play video games with them, or tell me about his new Pokemon, or really just about what was going on for him. And I was an only child, and I saw the world through the filter that was purely me. And what I wanted, and I knew that I could get what I wanted by listening to the people that could give me what I wanted to get. And the kids that wanted to play, the kid that wanted to play and have my undivided attention, he didn't offer me anything, and so I didn't give much attention, and I never really appreciated him or gave him much of my time at all. You know, where we think we have it all figured out because we finally get the ideas that adults have always not talked about with kids. You finally feel like you get to belong into the adult group, even though you still act like a kid in many ways. So, I chose to join the military, and I grew up a little bit, and one day I knew I wanted to have children, and be a teacher and mentor. I fucked all this up.
It's okay, keep
Can
on.
we stop? No, can we stop?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a self-informative speech that's going to cover my life, and particularly fatherhood. So I didn't always like kids at all. I remember growing up having an 8-year-old in my house who wanted to play video games or show me his coolest new Pokemon. And I grew up an only child and saw the world through eyes of just me, what was important and relevant to me, and what I wanted. I knew that listening to the adults that I wanted to get something from would help me in life. And the kid that wanted me to play and wanted my undivided attention, he didn't offer anything I wanted in my life, so I didn't pay him any attention. You know, where we think we have it all figured out because we finally grasp the ideas of what adults have been talking about our whole lives, and instead of being told it's not for our ears and over our heads, we can finally voice our own opinions. The shallow, short experience childhood had to offer compared to a lifetime growing up post-Vietnam and pre-Desert Storm can't compare. Then as teen years led to the reality of survival when you're free from the parents' roof and understand better the value of time, effort, listening, money, and attention, I chose to follow Uncle Sam into the military. I grew up and I changed. And one day I knew I wanted to have children in my life. Whether it was as a teacher, a mentor, counselor, father, big brother, I wasn't clear, but I knew that children were important to me. And that change was catalyzed by a phone call that I received one afternoon. The 8-year-old boy that I had never had time for, and was never nice to, and never gave a second thought to, had died. It hit me in ways only self-reflection of a thoughtless, arrogant, selfish person can. I knew in my heart that I could have made a positive difference in his life. I could have impacted him in a meaningful way. As an adult, it is clear what level of commitment is required to make lasting, important changes in the world. I have a drive within me to make this world a better, more positive place. Well, that news hit me deep, and it raised a lot of important questions. The positive encouragement, participation, and listening that can change a person's life is valuable and important in my community. And I want to be that person of important change and impact. Children asking to play look totally different through my eyes after this self-reflection. And adults are really only tall kids, sometimes in fancier clothes. The idea of playing with kids and sharing that same carefree attitude seems absolutely attainable and important. So we're going to fast forward here, past all the failings of an intimate relationship, to when the mother of my two children deploys for 6 months. Now I am the sole responsible party for these children while working a full-time professional job in a new city. Doing the diaper changes, the bottle warmings, the nighttime rocking, the cooking, as well as all the mechanical stuff, it came easy as far as being capable of getting it done. I shifted my life to that of being a single father. It was another moment that brought important questions. meant every word, attitude, enthusiasm was being parroted by little mini adults. I had to look hard at what the values were and establish in daily conversations with my kids. The way I treated women was an example for my son for how he thought he should treat women, while also being the way in which my daughter felt that she should expect to be treated. The constant self-reflection of having my actions and attitudes shown through their voices and expectations was daunting. The mountain of failure that I was shoveling upon myself made the expectations more critical. I grew into a feminist, a foodie, a crafty carpenter, and a frustrated man. I watched the gap widen. There's an already wide gap that separated me from my peers into a chasm. My daily thoughts and ideas revolved around what type of world I wanted for my children, how I could shape that for them, and am I walking the walk or just talking about good intentions? Super Bowls came and went, March Madness, Call of Duty new releases, Hot Babe on the cover of FHM magazine. I never gave any of it a second thought. I held no sociable connections to my peers any longer. I met some fathers that participated in family and were single fathers themselves, and that knowing look of all that we gave to our children, bringing greater happiness into our lives is present in some. Being a single father brings to light the American stereotype that mothers are the only humans capable of raising children. Like an ousted group from a pack of single fathers aren't recognized as being capable. We are given sympathy and reminders of how to do laundry. Make sure you clean up the lint trap in the dryer was my landlord's comment to me as though I had never done laundry before. The attitude was nearly unanimous that men weren't competent to tend to infants and small children. I would pick up parenting magazines in the waiting room with the piano lessons and read a quarter-page article written in the first person about a father learning how to take care of kids for an evening so the mother could have a ladies' night out. The tone was that of just manage them until someone can do it that gets it right, gets back. The entire magazine was otherwise entirely written for mothers and mothers' point of view. There was no neutral language or non-gender specific topics or roles identified. This made me upset. I saw the expectations of American society for men fail as fathers only result from the actions and attitudes within my community. I complain about poor fathering when there are no healthy, active role models present in our lives. So this angst joined the resolution to be a person of positive impact in my community. The result for me was a deeper drive to be a positive, supporting male role model in the lives of my children and their community of children.
Right.
Never having played by the standards for most of my life, I wanted to encourage critical thinking and to ask questions from these kids, like Socrates, totally disrupting the peaceful Greek pantheon of expectation. I wanted to change perception and change expectations and conclude with a community that sees fathers as capable, loving caregivers. I know I am now remarrying and will be embracing a blended family, 2 mothers and 1 father with more babies on the way. This will be a new transition in my life. Soon I will be part of a team that supports our children instead of being the only one I have trusted. I have learned through many late-night apologies to my fiancée that I cannot continue to plan and orchestrate my life as a single father. Now there is a team of support. This is new and novel in my life. The way I see their world is changing. I'm making a space for all of us to be supportive of each other. Taking my method